Hello again, everybody. Welcome to the Backbone Podcast, where common sense still makes sense in a world that is sick and only getting sicker. And today, this morning, Brian Daboll, the Giants put him out of his misery by relieving him of his duties as Giant head coach. Now, why did they do this? Why did they fire him? I'm of the belief that they fired this guy not because of these collapses, and there were 4 of them this year. 4 of them. I don't believe it was because of those things. It may have been the final straw, but the nail in the coffin for me, undoubtedly, was the fact that their quarterback Jackson Dart was knocked out of this game because of concussion protocol. The 4th concussion protocol that this kid has gone through now. And the reason why I think the Giants and John Mara gave Daboll his walking papers was because of the fact that he is not protecting his quarterback. They saw what this guy did over 2 years with Daniel Jones. They ran him amok. This guy, the minute he leaves, Daniel Jones, the minute he goes to a team with coaching, the Colts are thriving, and he's thriving. Jackson Dart is the franchise, the face of this team. You're going to see a lot of number 6s in MetLife Stadium, along with 44s if Scatterboo comes back healthy. I've told you this before. The only 2 people that matter on a football team with a football franchise, the owner, the quarterback. That's it. The quarterback can get the coach fired, as many coaches as he wants fired, if he can produce on the field. The coach almost now has to abide by what the quarterback says because coaches aren't making $50 million a year. Now, will Dart have a say in who his head coach is next year? Probably not. He's a youngster. But because of the fact that he's a youngster, because of his ability, the Giants will try to find a coach that can mold this kid and bring him to heel. He is a colt that needs to be brought to heel. He has to be broken and rebuilt up. He risks too much on the field. He takes too many hits. He's irresponsible with his body and the ball when he runs. And now John Mara saw enough when he saw his franchise quarterback walking off the field concussed, and he knew that Brian Daboll wasn't the coach. He was not the coach for this kid. Listen, if you have the type of games, you're losing the type of games the Giants are losing, right? You're 10-2. I'm sorry, 2-10, whatever. But your quarterback is showing promise, and he's doing good things. Daboll would have had a 20%, maybe 30% chance to go into that front office and say, hey, listen, I can get this kid going. I got something here. We have something here. I'm going to fix the defense next year. We're going to get a new defensive coordinator, and we're going to maximize their potential because that Giant front 7, the fact that they give up so many points with so little time left on the clock is obscene. It's absurd what happens. But Daboll made the crucial mistake. He did not protect his quarterback. And the only reason why Daboll had a chance of coming back next year was if this kid produced. And he was producing. He was exciting. They were losing games. But you can, if you're showing improvement at the most important position in the sport, you're giving fans hope. Then, people might. I still think they would have fired him anyway. But if they won 4 or 5, maybe 6 games out of the next 7, which is not going to happen now, you give the fans hope, a good taste in their mouth over the holidays. But that didn't happen. And John Mara, I can guarantee you, Well, he was looking at Jackson Dart all these weeks. He also had an eye on Indianapolis because the way that guy Daniel Jones is playing compared to the way he was here under Daboll, it's like it's not you don't even recognize the guy. Two different quarterbacks, two different players. And I'm telling you that these guys like Daboll, who are specialized quarterback gurus and offensive, systematic bullshit, they don't always make very good head coaches. As a matter of fact, it's almost like 80% that they suck, especially the offensive ones, because the offensive guys only concentrate on the offense. Some of these guys don't even concentrate on the offense as a whole. They only concentrate on the quarterback play. But as a head coach, you must be a delegate. You have to delegate with your offensive coordinator, with your coaches, and you have to be able to do things that an offensive coordinator or a quarterback coach doesn't do. You have to have the proper roster ready for a game. You have to have game management skills. You can't make mistakes of in-game play calling like they did at the goal line yesterday by not going for the touchdown but going for a field goal. That drives people crazy. And it just shows that you're not a winning head coach. You can't keep your team healthy. Your team is penalized up and down the field. You turn the ball over. That's a sign of bad coaching. Bill Parcells always said, you want to know how your team is, how you have a bad head coach? Fumbles, turnovers, injuries. That's the sign of a bad head coach. Daboll covered all three. So now he's gone. What did the Giants do from here? You're going to hear the typical names. You're going to hear the typical name. Now, we don't know if Joe Shine, or Sheen, or whatever the fuck his name is. We don't know what's happening with him. Quite frankly, nobody knows what's happening with the Giant hierarchy because, as you know, John Mara is ill with cancer. We don't know if he is going to have a lot of say in this process. But the usual names are coming up. And a lot of people are already talking about replacing Joe Shane, maybe with Joe Brady from up in Buffalo. He's assistant GM up there. And the of course, because you have to develop the quarterback, these guys are always looking for offensive coordinators. Mike LaFleur his name's gonna pop up. Wes Phillips from the Vikings, his name's gonna pop up. Matt Nagy and the Chiefs, his name's gonna pop up. And of course, the usual suspects, the big names, Belichick, which is not going to happen. Gruden, I don't think that's going to happen either. And Mike McCarthy. Those are the three former head coaches that you're probably going to hear of a lot that are going to be up for this job. But now the Giants are a very attractive place now. They have a great defense, even though they're not playing great. And they have the quarterback. And for Matt Kafka, who I don't think should be playing I don't think he should even let Jackson Dart dress for the next 2 weeks. You have to sit him down and calm him down and let him rest. I wouldn't even play him until after the bye. Let him go up against Washington and Dallas. I think they have they have a couple of easy games in finishing off the season. You want to play him then? Play him then. But for now, don't even bring up Russell Wilson anymore. He doesn't want to play football. He's terrified. He wants to protect himself, unlike Dart. Just put Jameis Winston in there. Let Giant fan let him have a little fun. Wing it. Who gives a fuck if you're not beating Green Bay and Detroit anyway. Just go out there, let him throw his 2 touchdowns and his 2 interceptions and do all this crazy shit with the prayers and this and that. Let him have his fun. But no more Russell Wilson. You cannot put Russell Wilson back on the field anymore. Can't do it. The Giants are a mess, and they've been a mess since Coughlin left, since they embarrassed Coughlin. Tom Coughlin was very, very upset. We saw that press conference where he refused to shake anybody's hand after the announcement that he was leaving. And then it's been 1960s, 1970s Giants all over again. Bob McAdoo, a disaster. Pat Sherman, a disaster. Joe Judge, a disaster. This guy, a disaster. They just can't win football games. And this is a proud, old franchise. And they've gone through 5 head coaches in 10 years? This is not what the Giants are used to. They're not used to stuff like this. They're used to stability and class and winning. But they have the piece there. They have the most important piece. They have to get back their superstar wide receiver. They have to get back their very popular, very energetic running back. They have to tweak that offensive line. And they have to get a defensive coordinator in here that will energize that front 7 to attack the quarterback. Why these guys aren't attacking the quarterback, I don't know. But they're just not doing it. They're just not getting the job done under this defensive coordinator. And Daboll made a huge mistake 2 years ago. This is why specialized coaches, I would stay away from them. He could not work with Wink Martindale, who had that defense fucking humming. And he fired him that first year. That was a telltale sign of what Brian Daboll is. Brian Daboll will be fine. He's a very good, like I said, he works very well with quarterbacks, which is very, very important in this league. So he'll find another job. He'll be back in the league next year. But as a head coach, I don't know. If you go to the Giants and you fuck this up with 2 quarterbacks, and those 2 quarterbacks are doing better when you're gone, that says something about you as a head coach. That says a lot about you. That's something that you may not be able to survive. But we'll see. And it'll be interesting to see who the Giants are looking at. Again, I don't believe it's going to be the 3 former coaches, the Super Bowl coaches. I don't believe it will be any of them. I don't think that Belichick is coming here. Guy's going to be 75 years old? He's not coming here. Plus the baggage that he has, forget about him. McCarthy, I wouldn't see that either. And I don't think Gruden is coming back to the league, frankly. I think it'll probably be one of the 3 guys I mentioned. Maybe Mike LaFleur would probably be the guy that you would take a chance with. And you know what? You might want to take a chance with a defensive guy. They have the Shula's pretty good. Spags, maybe bring Spags back. Get that defense going. Get an offensive coordinator that is quarterback friendly that will work with this kid. Defensive coaches tend to delegate better. Well, Saleh didn't do that very well, but they tend to be a little bit different in their approach. And I think the era of the offensive guru, this whole pass and catch shit, I think it's coming to an end. It should be. The quarterback play in this league, the play in this league overall is a disaster. This league is not good anymore. It's crap. It's garbage. Majority of the coaches stink. Majority of these quarterbacks stink. Fumbles, penalties, all sorts of stupid fucking plays. But for Daboll, he's gone. And the Giants have Matt Kapka, who's the offensive coordinator, who will be the interim head coach. Now he won't do anything significant. He's not going to make any changes in personnel or anything like that. This will be just get us across the line and let's get ready for next year. But they must keep Jackson Dart upright. He cannot suffer any more concussion protocols. The kid just can't do it. 4 is already too many. It's over. No more risking your body out there. He's got to understand that he's more important. There's more to it than what he's doing now. And that's my 2 cents. Thanks again for watching, everybody. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share. Remember, my friends, Satan is always busy. Be a man, have a backbone, because masculinity and common sense are worth standing up for. And remember, if it ends in an ism, it's a mental disorder. We'll see you later.